Okay. All right. So, a couple things about chapter 9 to review. So, of course, the big event in this chapter is that Simon dies. So, Simon goes after his discussion with the Lord of the Flies. He seems to pass out. He feels as if the Lord of the Flies, the pig's head, is swallowing him whole. But when he wakes up, he continues on. And that's important because Simon is brave. He perseveres even when things are terrible. So he continues to climb the mountain. He continues to go up the mountain and search for whatever it is the boys are calling the beast. He stumbles upon the dead parachuter. And even though it's scary and horrific, and this man has been rotting for who knows how long, he sees it. He sees that it's not anything that can harm the boys, and so his goal is to come down off of the mountain and tell the rest of the boys that there's nothing to be afraid of. When he does this, by the time he does this, it's dark outside. And the boys are all revved up, chanting about killing the beast. And it's starting to storm. They can't see well. And so they react by, number one, not listening to anything Simon is yelling. And number two, they just say, "It's the beast," and start attacking Simon. So they reject his truth about the beast. And remember, we talked about Simon being a Christ figure. So very much like Christ, he's the one who comes down off of the mountain with a truth. He tries to save everybody, but in the end, he is persecuted and put to death. And now this is different than the Christ story in the New Testament because, of course, Simon will not be resurrecting. He is just going to be killed. And this becomes the second major death of the book, but certainly the most violent death. It comes directly after the boys kill the pig. So they graduate kind of from torturing and killing this pig to actually committing murder with the death of Simon. It's not clear exactly which boys are responsible for Simon's death. Even Ralph and Piggy are in there somewhere. So one of the interesting things about this part of the book is that the boys almost blend together and become one animal, one mouth that swallows Simon whole. So let me just show you the text, and I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so here, Simon comes down off the mountain. Him. The circle that they're dancing in became a horseshoe. A thing was crawling out of the forest. It came darkly, uncertainly. The shrill screaming that rose before the beast was like a pain. The beast stumbled into the horseshoe. Okay, and then a little bit later, the beast was on its knees in the center, its arms folded over its face. It was crying against the abominable noise, something about a body on the hill. The beast struggled forward, broke the ring. At once, the crowd surged after it, poured down the rock, leapt onto the beast, screamed, struck, bit, tore. There were no words and no movements but the tearing of teeth and claws. Here, the boys become one entity. They become a giant mouth that consumes Simon. The narrator refers to Simon as the, quote, beast in reference to the way the boys view him and attack. So they see him as the beast, even though he's just a little boy crumbled with his arms folded over his face crying for help. It's clear that Simon is still just a little boy, but the hunters and the other boys are so revved up and so ready to fight. They want blood that they go after Simon and rip him to shreds before, really Simon can say anything at all to them. Now, the last part here is also interesting because the narrator zooms back almost, steps back, and we see the world kind of from a distance. And Simon is this very little entity on a speck on the earth as he washes out to sea. Now, incidentally, the boys were, it's not clear exactly which boys were where. Simon is in the center, certainly, but possibly Ralph and Piggy even are participating in his death. We can't know that for sure. We just know that all of the boys kind of blend together and they lose their individuality. They become one monster. After Simon's death, that's where we zoom back and we just see just how small Simon really is. He's a tiny entity in the vastness of the universe. Golding's unique style is to blend the horrific, the dead body of Simon, which is a terrible image, with the beautiful, the image of the vast ocean under the heavens and the tide slowly washing Simon away. So this passage here, the tide swelled in over the rain-pitted sand and smoothed everything with a layer of silver. Now it touched the first of the stains that seeped from the broken body. The water rose farther and dressed Simon's coarse hair with brightness. The line of his cheeks silvered, and the turn of his shoulder became sculpted marble. The body lifted a fraction of an inch from the sand, and a bubble of air escaped from the mouth with a wet plop. Then it turned gently in the water. Okay, and here Simon's dead body moves out into the open sea. Okay, so in the end here, the last image of him being pulled out to sea combines Golding's images of horror and beauty, and that is the hallmark of Golding's style. Now we're in the falling action of Lord of the Flies now, but remember the hunters and Jack, he's consolidated his power on one side of the island. Really all that's left is Piggy, Sam and Eric, and Ralph. Now they have lost Simon. This is in the falling action, but it becomes sort of the escalation for the rest of the violence in the book. So we will be continuing on then now with chapter 10, okay, which you guys are going to read on your own, and we'll do chapter 11 in the next class.